You
I
gotta
want to hear the gavel.
flash
You
the
want to hear
light.
it? That's right. Eileen always had one. Gaga, she was Jean. All right. 6, what, 2 or 3, time to start the plan board meeting. Let's take a look at the agenda real quick. We have one member that's not here, but we do have a quorum, so we can have a meeting. And is there any public comment tonight from anyone? Hearing none, move on. Any adjustments to the agenda that we need? And the minutes, I guess, would be from the April meeting, right, to approve the minutes.
But we could,
What's that?
because we were not here and you don't.
So-
have a quorum, yeah.
Well, if we've read the meeting, we can prove them, but I'll waive that till the next meeting.
Yeah.
How's that? Okay, new business. Aaron, would you like to tell us what you'd like to do?
Well, the caissons on my cottage are failing and Mark can tell me he jacked them up on both ends, like he did kind of mouth. And what I would like to do is replace the cottage, enlarge it just a little bit, 4 feet on the back. And on the same footprint. But I was looking actually at the water line today and I'm not in 25 feet, more than that, although not much more. And I have a boundary survey that I had done just because I was curious where the property lines were.
Right,
And it shows. I'll figure out which way you want to look at it. It goes this way. Yeah. Is it okay if I?
I'm right up here.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Not to throw it reading these things. But I think what it says. Sure. I can't. So that's the cottage.
Yeah.
But I think what it's telling me is that it's. I guess it's not either.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, actually, the shore is kind of like right here.
okay, your high one.
Right. Well, the high water mark is down here.
Okay,
So, and that's what I was noticing today. I was really looking at it to see exactly where it was. And it really doesn't come up that far. So I think I have, I mean, here's the 25-foot mark and the 75-foot mark. And I think I'm like the 30-foot mark or 35 feet, something like that. So I don't believe I'm within the 25 feet from the high water mark. I think that's where, you know, I think that's where the shoreland zoning is.
there's nothing really allowed within that zone.
Yeah, I'm just saying this place is existing. I bought it in
No, the 25
1996.
feet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, behind 25 feet, there are sections. Where does the lot go to?
The other line.
Well, this is my, it goes all the way up here, but that's my sewer pump right there. And
Okay.
that's my well and the leach field is right here.
Okay. So, there's no opportunity to move
No
that
place to go anywhere.
Okay,
And from what I understand, I had a chat with, Perry had given me Will Gantley's name and we had a long chat. And I guess as it is, I'm gonna have to put a frost wall in because I'm
Keep it
close to the
warm.
leach field.
okay.
But what's not clear is that you say you want to use the same footprint and then expand 4 feet.
Well, I want to make it a little bit bigger, not a lot bigger, just a little bit bigger.
There are provisions for that.
Yeah,
I think it's 1/3 to 1,000 square feet. 30%.
Well, it's not gonna be 30% larger.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a for sure. I think I'm at, it's 120. A little less, maybe 117 square feet that I'm adding.
Okay, I think,
I just am not sure what the process is where I have to go.
okay, so
from
just
here.
as your initial check. on
Yeah.
this. Yeah. I think you're gonna have to work with the code enforcement officer on this for a little bit
Mhm,
to see, establish where the boundaries and stuff are
right,
and the size that you want to do.
Mhm.
Probably with Gartley and Dorsey as well.
yeah, I mean,
Actually, we need a draw, basically.
Whatever whatever the code enforcement
Yeah.
requires. you to
right,
do.
right. Right,
You'll
and
need a-
I mean, my architect, I'm from Michigan and that's, you know, my architect is there and, you know, he drew up something for me. And, you know, and I'll,
He's licensed.
oh, you
Yeah,
bet.
yeah.
And he's been actually, you know, he said, you've got to do soil borings. And Will Gantley said, no, you don't. Okay,
Just trying to look for the setbacks, I didn't see it. Research that a little bit, but. There are permits for, flood in the state.
see, I don't believe I'm in the floodplain. And the
Okay.
only reason I say that, and I know that like about right here, there's a little red cottage and I'm not sure whose land that's attached to. I don't think it's attached to the people that own the land abutting me. I think it's like one lot over. And that house has to be in the floodplain, it's right down on the water.
That had to be determined by an engineer, I would
Oh,
say.
okay.
say something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Because the town can get into problems with the state.
I see.
With,
But Bill Gantley would be the one who would,
Yeah. Gartley.
I think you're gonna have to get a plan
Yeah.
from him, unfortunately.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're gonna have to get a site plan from him.
right,
Drawn out with your distances and things like that.
which is okay. I mean, at least we have this to start with and
I hate to make you go through the expense,
what
but
else is new. That's the story of my life.
But, you're on the water, if you improve it, it'll be a value,
Right,
so that,
well, it'll be a value to the town too, obviously.
sure will. They'll come find you.
Tax, trust me, I know you will. No, I know.
So by looking at that, you don't see that.
I think it needs to be the-
Move back.
Well,
Do I need him to do a real thing?
I would have you at it in position to set, she got a leach field here now,
Right,
so she'd have to tear that out, put a new leach field in.
that's a pain in the neck.
That's right.
And
I
there's
think the
really,
procedure- I think the procedure for that is, it might actually, this is be the rare occasion that has to go to the appeal court and not really sure now. Because I think what you'd be asking for is a variance in
Mhm,
that case. I mean, I think there's the language states basically that a structure that has a new foundation put under it, that's that close to the water has to be moved back to the greatest practical extent. And that might mean like, 4 feet or something
Right.
in this case, or
Right.
it could mean like. It hinges on what's the greatest
There is-
practical.
Yeah, like is
Right.
there ledge around
That's
it?
the
I
key word. What is great, what is practical?
Yeah,
no,
but,
no, I do not intend to do that,
But,
please.
like, so this is the closest point to the water, so if there is any way maybe to move the house a little this way,
Right,
Yeah, for
Because-
example, that would be a way
yeah.
to do it.
yeah.
I
mhm,
think there's,
Because this way your extra
yeah.
4 feet
Then I have
won't
to
get
take down
you
some
any
trees,
closer
which
to
I
the
don't really want
water.
to do, but,
actually easier than moving.
you think?
I think.
Yeah.
I think that's basically what, civil engineer like
Yeah,
Will Gartley will
right.
tell you is, will be able to tell you is he'll be able to put together a narrative. In an argument, give a professional opinion, basically saying like, here is what we think the greatest practical extent is in this case.
Mhm.
And then, as a planning board, our job is to evaluate it.
Right.
And comment, but,
Overall.
he's done this a million.
I know,
times. think
yeah, he
that's,
said, yeah.
He'll be, one of the best resources around.
Right.
Yeah. so-
Based on this, I think you have missed the flood zone by like. Very small.
It really, the flood zone, I'll be perfectly honest,
Because I think
looks
that-
like it's right
I
there.
think that's your house. I think that's. the flood
Wait a
zone.
minute, I need my glasses, hold on.
I think, I don't
He
think
will-
you're in it. I
he
think
will-
You're okay,
He will
but
put,
it's really close.
he'll put that on his plan.
Yeah, he will. He'll put it.
Right, because I'm high up, all right, show me that again.
So here's Waterman Beach.
Right, T Street, yeah, the cottages.
That's it right there. So the flood zone is blue, so like 10 feet from the front door, but it's not even. I think.
Oh, I know, and I'm about, I don't know,
That's why if you can move like.
8 feet up
over-
off the rack
she wants
on
4
the-
square feet.
Sure.
store, yeah, so.
Well,
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be in this case, it's a matter of feet.
Mhm.
And
Not
and will
inches.
be discussed, just need to get a plan from Garland and Dorsey. I think,
there's wiggle room here. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say there is.
I'm not getting crazy, I'm not,
No.
that's, I love my cottage, I really love my cottage.
Yeah.
But I can't have it breaking in two. Which is what it's doing, so.
no, I understand.
Yeah.
We understand. I think, we agree that, something is possible.
Okay.
Pretty similar to what you have
Yeah.
proposed.
Cool.
We just, in these cases, so close to the water, we gotta be really careful.
I know.
There might be some rules
I
about,
know.
raising up the height of the foundation a little bit and things like that.
Right,
But that's like, those would be state
okay, because
regulations.
it does slope a little bit,
But I'm saying
Yeah.
you might have to, a house on, if that close, they may want it on some kind of piers.
oh, really, okay,
Like
think-
similar to that, maybe not,
right,
but
right,
the reason why I say that there's one that's been being built on the way to Tenants Harbor,
uh-huh,
and
I think that's because it's in a BE flood zone.
that's in a flood zone, yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you're in
Maybe
the
not.
flood zone.
yeah, I believe me, I'm right next to it, but I'm not in it,
Sure.
Okay,
and,
you're lucky.
yeah,
For now.
okay.
Yeah.
as far as your expansion, I don't think it's 30%.
No, no, no,
It
it
says in
does
here
not.
800 square feet,
Yeah.
but I think it's been increased to 1,000. I think it's even been increased to more than that by the state.
Oh, really? Yeah, right, it's on.
The reason why I say that, I can't guarantee that, but I heard
Right,
that from one code enforcement I'll say it about a year ago.
okay, I mean, I'm only looking at, I believe it's 1,000, like 1,012, something like that,
Mhm.
and I think it's 850.
Let me just
835, something like that now, so.
Okay,
I think you're you're right in the ballpark
Yeah,
of what's
Yeah.
something that's. acceptable. So I think just getting that little bit next level of detail.
yeah, I would do that, I'll get finished out,
I would inquire about any state permits you may need, if you
Right.
got Dorsey, if he says
They
there's
would know.
none, so. And then get that all to Terry, she can look it over,
okay,
and then she has questions, she can have you come back to us.
cool.
When did you want to start this project? When-
Oh, it's not gonna be till October of 24.
Okay, so we got time.
Because you can't, nobody can do anything now. And, my contractor, I said, oh, October 24, and he didn't see the 24. I can't do anything in October. Okay,
Okay,
all right,
that's as much as we
Thank
can
you
do
very much.
tonight, I
If
think.
she adds a wall, does that count towards the square footage of her addition?
Yes,
volume does.
I think it's volume, well, I gotta check this. The volume thing may or may not still exist. If it still exists in our ordinance, it's binding, but
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's what I would. just
But
be
you
doing
can
is over
expand
the
of
bedroom.
1/3 of what you have. Or
Well,
up to
in
1,000 square
3%
feet.
area and volume.
Yeah, I,
I just saw that.
if it is I just wanted to be aware that
Right,
the law counts.
And this is,
yeah, if it's a square foot per versus volume, I need to know exactly.
and I think this was a height thing too. or-
Yeah, but I don't think that's.
No,
That'd be a
I don't
problem,
think
yeah.
it's an issue.
No.
Okay,
And,
Sorry,
I thought I mentioned it.
Yeah, yeah. And I want to put.
I have no problem with your project. I think it's great.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. It'll be cool.
All right.
I'm not certain, sorry, I'm just looking here, I'm just checking, I don't think our ordinance mentions the volume.
I didn't need to see it either.
Because, yeah, square footage.
I think
That's
it,
all I remember.
and it says, it doesn't say square footage, it says footprint,
Correct.
and that means the lot doesn't count.
Right,
So I think it's really just the footprint.
That's on page, I was just looking at that. I
Page like
skipped it.
5 or 6 of the,
Let's just check it real quick while she's here.
I'm pretty sure it's a 30% footprint increase.
Oh, I'm not increasing it that much.
Yeah, no, I think you're not.
You taking on any trees to do this?
I don't want to.
There's no trees to take down. There's nothing down, okay. That's another
I
consideration.
mean,
You can do it, but then you gotta replant something.
yeah, no, I don't think I would even have to be perfectly honest,
I think we just have to look at the plan from the engineer
right?
just to make sure like. Because it's really it's like a funny negotiation between, the rule says, you have to move it back to the greatest possible extent,
Right.
like, where is that, like?
Right. I mean,
It
the
doesn't-
the
it doesn't-
leach field is
Yeah.
right there.
Does it involve, well, yeah, I mean,
It's
can it go to the left, like, can it go to the right, like, there's, I think, you just have to sit down with the engineers and
Right.
look at the site plan, look at the setbacks, and
Right.
they'll have a good recommendation.
Right,
And I think it's based on what we looked at, I don't think it's probably not gonna move that far.
no,
But
Yeah.
it should, so,
Okay.
and then the tree question comes into play. Just in terms of that question of what's practical.
and I would always replant,
Yeah.
trees unfortunately, I was looking at that. I had to take out one of the ash trees that were diseased. And now it looks naked, I got it.
Yeah.
So I
Need
got-
more trees.
I know, gotta put something in there, but,
So, yeah, see, this is, yeah, square footage, there is nothing about volume. The increased square footage.
Does it say square footage or footprint?
Well,
Okay, square footage, but what I'm saying is if you're building a loft area and you're adding
the
something to
total
how much you adding to
footprint,
the
yeah.
back, you said? I'm
4 feet
4 feet, how long is it?
across the back, 38 feet,
So I don't know, my calculator.
130.
So you would have,
100.
you have to take that,
152.
you have, what I'm saying is if you'd have at least that much probably. If you did the 1/3, if you say it's 875,
And the,
so that would give you another
No.
600
But
square
I
feet.
used to do that.
No,
and
but
I-
I'm saying you have your original footprint. If you had a loft area,
Oh,
that could be like 600.
right, which is not gonna be, no.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah, you're.
I think you're- in
limited
other
to
words-
25 feet high.
You're-
Yeah, the height limit is 25 feet, that's more than 2 floors. So she.
Yeah.
Well, not really, I mean, and, if it's,
But you're having a loft, it's not like. a-
right, but if you do it, kind of like a cape. Where it's,
yeah,
it's only going up a little bit and then.
I'd recommend just
down.
keep your roof under 25 feet.
Yeah.
Like,
the rule is 25 feet
Yeah, you're-
or the height of,
I'm sure it would.
Is it more than 25 feet now?
or the height of the existing building, whichever is greater. So 25, and if your building's already higher than 25, you
Right.
can keep it that high, but
Right.
if it's not, then you
But
can't
it's
go
not,
more than
yeah.
25.
Yeah,
That there is the rule.
yeah, okay, okay,
All right.
yeah, no, I think I'm in good shape, but I'll call Will tomorrow.
He may be backed up about 2-3 months, as usually it is. But anyway,
He was so nice to talk to me and actually gave me like 15 minutes. I was like, that's really great.
good.
So, all right, then, thank you very much.
Very much. Nice to meet you
Thank you,
too.
great to meet you.
And see you when I see you. We'll try to over and
Okay, sounds good.
see what it is, yeah.
over on Sunday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Mark.
See you, Gabe.
Okay, next to Mr. Ratcliffe.
Yes.
I'm sorry I missed you last month. Sure, just come sit here, whatever you'd like.
The budding entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So I understand you. I'll let you tell me, I guess. What you want to do.
What was that?
I'll let you tell us what you'd like to do.
Okay, so she wants to start originally she wanted to start a little coffee shop type of thing. E-shop, I guess it was, and she had it at the front of our property. We are at 44 Pleasant Beach Road. We're down near Pleasant Beach.
Okay,
We get a lot of summer traffic down there, pedestrian traffic. So she thought she could set something up like that. We spoke with the committee here last month. And we followed up with the health inspector and he told us that the real issue with coffee is you need the 2 stainless steel sinks and plumbing and whatnot. But we don't have that shit. He recommended what would work for us is potentially selling prepackaged foods with a Department of Ag license out of the property. So like popsicles, ice cream, something like that.
okay.
So we're essentially looking, I guess, for approval from the town to do something like that. I assume we do that. I don't think we can just do it, or maybe we can, since the footprint of our building is probably 10 by 10. And on the corner of our property and the abutting property is my father's. He has no
Right.
problem with that, so.
Okay. In place, somebody pull over with a car there too, or? How many parking?
I mean, there is, I mean, the driveway down there, there's plenty of room.
Okay.
But we primarily be looking at the pedestrian traffic.
Okay.
It's a dead end. So.
Yeah, I know where it is. All right, I guess let's go through the, I'm gonna do a performance standard for you. Because that way, you'll have it in writing.
Yeah, I could be pretty quick about it, I think. I think,
No signage, no lights.
they might have a sign, you never know.
I mean.
You'll have to decide in about 5 minutes. so.
We don't have to.
I'm gonna go over some things with you very quickly, well, not. And the board will, you may not know all the answers, but we can work through them.
Okay.
Okay, and it's gonna be 525. 2023. Okay, your address is 44
That's correct.
Pleasant Beach. Okay. So this is in R1 area. R1, row 1, it's not in the village.
No.
No, okay, so what about that? So this application is gonna be for a takeout or something like that. What are you gonna call it?
She's called the Curly Dog Cafe.
Okay,
She has a curly dog. And, I think it would be more, if it's an ag license, I think that the way that the health inspector recommended it was that it was more like a stand that you have at, say, like the Lobster Festival for that same kind of
okay,
license.
I'm gonna call it a food stand then.
Yeah, I think so. But we're not gonna be doing any cooking there. It'll only be more like a concession stand, I guess you'd say, or
Yeah,
prepackaged everything.
So we said we determine that's R1 zone. I can look that up.
I've
afterwards.
got it here. I'll just tell you a
Okay.
second.
It's on the street, so you don't need a entrance permit in the DOT.
It is right against the street, yes.
Yeah. I don't think we need to do a site review there. Anybody?
I don't think so.
Any impact on wildlife? No.
I don't expect it to be.
Okay,
Pleasant Beach is R2 or
R2, okay, thank you. All right. Any other permits that you might need? Besides the claim that, I don't know if the town has any kind of, selling permits or nothing like that, okay. None,
Yeah, no.
Change of use.
that's what this application is. I think,
So,
That's
change
what
of
I
use.
filled out.
yeah, because it's not for construction.
No,
okay.
What is it?
Food stand,
What is it called?
proposed use is gonna call it food
A change of
stand.
use.
Some of these things I asked a couple times. Okay. Property, you the owner, do you rent there?
No,
Owner.
it's technically, I own a budding property as well.
Okay, I need a map and lot number for this property. Okay, right there, map 6. And lot 3633, lot 1. Okay. And the R2 district.
Is it lot 1 or lot 2?
What is it
Lot
now?
1.
Lot 1 it says on this.
On the map here? It's-
Only, well, I'm just taking it off the minutes.
Okay.
I mean, the agenda, excuse me.
All right, so it's not right on Pleasant Beach Road, it's in between, it's next to Split Cove. Is it a very long
I own both,
Okay,
but it's the one that's right next to Pleasant Beach Road. It's
okay,
on-
so that would be on lot 2 then.
Okay,
You see that map?
Do you want me to come over and take a look?
Yeah, that might be the easiest.
I think it's this 33-1 right there.
Okay, so I thought you said he was just at the turn.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
No, okay,
It's
okay, so that's.
Yes,
33-1.
33-1 and 33. I have
Okay.
Both of these, and the shed is right there at the corner, and you see this funny little easement road here. That is, the shed's right where that meets the road
Okay.
there.
Okay.
This is the old Nabby Cove Road. It's still there. It's a driveway now, and it's obscured with trees
Yeah.
and brush.
okay, move on to number 4. These findings compliance with dimension requirements. I think it does. Yes,
Yes.
I believe so. I mean, it's existing.
you have how many acres of land there?
I have 1 acre there, and I have the adjacent is 5.5.
But where this is gonna be is 1 acre. Okay, you only required to have 1 acre. Sometimes. On a campground. Any lighting?
Lighting,
Yeah,
um,
down face of lighting, you need lights there?
I mean, I put some lighting in if I need
You
it.
won't be operating at night, we
Yeah.
assume, so there is no lighting necessary.
There's currently no lighting.
Okay.
But there could be.
If you want lighting, you need to say, I want some lighting.
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay, so I'm gonna say lighting, yes, we'll get to it. Where's how much to decide with?
you're not talking like a street light, right? You're just talking.
I'm talking about any light that's not
Any-
there now.
Could be,
And then you.
any light that might be, any exterior light that's
neighbor-
not there now.
Yeah,
So if I need to put something in to illuminate the outside, if there's people there in the evening, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what we'd be talking about right now.
Okay, all right, yeah, I mean, it'll be in the morning, early afternoon, so we don't, I think, need any, but maybe we'll put a light
If you want-
inside the building.
okay,
yeah, so, okay, safety.
Yeah.
well, that's,
Not
You
to have
don't,
to
you
come
don't want to
back.
have to come back if you want to add a light, so
Oh,
you should just say you
Yes,
want a
yes,
light,
I'd like to
yeah.
put a light.
Yep.
That would be good.
any outdoor storage of materials,
No,
trash cans, anything like that.
unless it's necessary, I can add one, but there shouldn't really be anything.
Okay, because they have to
inside.
be, anything that need to be screened from view, is what I'm asking you.
Nope,
Okay, no, that's cool. Off-street spot, sufficient space determined by the planning board. To eliminate any on-street parking, so,
I mean, the old Nabby Cove Road is there. I could fit a couple of cars there. I mean, I own that piece of property. So if I needed it, we're not expecting to sell people driving.
what I'm saying, you might have elderly people that come there,
Yeah, so there.
and they would come in a car, usually. So you might want to have a few spaces.
Yeah,
if you-
we probably got room for 2 spaces there.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I say, yes,
that's on the adjacent property though.
doesn't matter to me.
Fine.
It is,
As long as you own that property. I
you
think,
own that property.
I own half of that road too, so.
Okay.
That's fair. Well, I own both halves of it, it just depends on which piece of property you want to call.
There'll be some parking. And then we get down, after we go through this a little bit more, we go how many, how much, and all so forth. Okay. This does or not recommend a change from the zoning of this area? Say it does not.
it does not.
Okay, conservation plan also does or does not recommend changes to permit the use in this district. So it's no,
Does not.
does not.
Oops, I have there was a typo, it's map 6, lot 33-1.
Map 6 is what I had.
Yeah,
We,
you figured it out?
Yeah.
Map 6, lot dash 33, lot 1.
No, it's
No.
map 6, lot 33-1.
Oh, 33-1, sorry.
Oh, that's bad.
Thank you for that. Okay. Based on the above finding, the applicant does or does not conform to the comprehensive plan. If it does,
it does,
it does that. Land use on the findings, special exception, conditional use, Additional conditions for planning board may, in order to carry out the proposed or a special exemption procedure, require additional conditions, specifications, criteria, standards necessary to protect the public interest and to fit such use harmoniously and compatibly into their neighborhoods and locations. Such conditions may include, but are not limited to. So, like increased setbacks. No. So I'm gonna say 0 feet on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think on all of it, I think the only one that's actually feels important is just avoiding parking on the street.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, line setbacks from roads, 0.
And just, yeah, 0, I think making sure you have enough room for people, if
If
there's like,
it's not near body of water.
not that close, no.
Okay,
It's 400
400, okay.
at least.
Put that in there.
Related to the road, I think the other thing is to shed far enough from the road, so you've got like 5 or 6 people waiting there, no one's gonna be standing in the road.
No,
Okay, great.
yeah.
So we want to put a foot from
10
the,
feet from the road, and the way that it opens towards the road, it's towards the property.
okay.
Okay,
So
no one,
do
yeah,
you know about how far off the road it is? 10 feet?
Probably 10 feet.
Okay, let's put that down.
Maybe 15 even.
Okay, 15. Okay. Require comply with state setbacks and provide additional setbacks from any dwelling existing at the time of permitting totaling. State has a minimum setback of 6 feet.
Okay.
Property lines.
Yeah, we're definitely.
Okay, we're within that. Okay, and the land survey. That you're on.
Has it been surveyed?
Do you have a survey of markers on that land?
Yes.
Okay, could even be, okay. Water on in the building? No. 9A. So it's no well. No sewage either?
No.
Okay, additional time for screening. Possibly will be visible to abutters on the town or the town road. Yes or no? It will be.
Mhm.
I mean,
I think that's fine personally.
It's not a problem. Just-
Nobody-
It's an existing shed.
it's there, but the house is set, the abutting land, the house is set so far back into the woods, you can't actually see the road from the house. So it's not visible from any of the abutting properties. I mean,
Town road,
It's visible from the road, that's.
Okay. okay, road. Okay. Okay. Fencing requirement for commercial industrial operations or equipped with storage visible from adjacent dwellings, fencing or landscaping screening, tree, shrub, berms will be installed, yes or no? Do you need any additional screening?
Not
But-
applicable, yeah.
And NA on that one. Landscaping required, we're gonna say NA on that as well. Operation service type, especially limited scope. The application increase in scope will require a new updated permit. To be approved to increase the scope by the planning board. So if you don't get it tonight, you gotta come back. Only that.
One thing I forgot to mention, actually related to the trash can, I think you should provide a trash can, because my other concern is people dropping wrappers.
Can I put it on the inside?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, as long as people know that it's there and that they can leave their
Yeah.
trash with you.
Yeah. Okay.
'Cause that's the
It'll be
only-
visible, but on the inside of the property, so you'll be able to see it from the outside.
That's fine, yeah, or you can just like put it out if you're in business, like you bring it at night.
Yeah.
I
You
think,
would want animals to get in.
yeah, no, definitely not.
No.
No, just like,
Plenty of familiarity with that.
A number of employees,
Uh,
2?
two,
2?
maybe
We're-
three if
we're looking at them.
Okay, I'll put 3. Okay, security, will it be a locked building at night or?
Yeah, good padlock for it.
Padlock, yes, a yes. Okay, now we're gonna get into hours of operation. There's 4 categories here, 4 or 5. All right, so Monday to Friday, right? You're gonna be during the week.
It'll be during the week, yeah.
Okay, what time would you like to open and close?
We're probably thinking not for very long each day, a couple of hours probably. That's about our bandwidth on this, and that's, we need to have a limit. of-
You have to tell me what, from like 8 AM to 4 PM or something.
We
like
did
that.
like noon to 2. Is that
But
acceptable?
again, you can do longer and even if you.
Work
want
less, you know
to,
what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh, I see, okay, yeah.
Be generous with yourself.
Yeah.
It'd be like, you know, between 9 to 5, something like that.
Yes.
And then we'll just
Okay.
have a subset of hours in there. We won't
Yeah.
be doing anything in the evening.
You will not be rebuked for not being open as often as you said you would.
But we
Okay.
don't yell.
Yeah. Saturday, Sunday operation,
Potentially, yes.
same hours.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's not gonna be until after school gets out.
okay, and I'm gonna put the daylight, not daylight only, evenings too.
No, just daylight.
Okay,
Oh, I mean, after the school year ends. That's what I mean.
okay, is it, what I'm asking, is you gonna, you're just gonna operate daylight, might be after dark?
No, I don't think we have
Okay.
to dark.
So I'll just say 8 to 5.
3 o'clock, and
No.
we're not gonna be doing it then, so it'll be cold.
All right. Gonna work on federal state holidays. For July. You can have it if you want it.
Possibly.
Okay, so I'll say yes,
Sure, the
same
footballs.
hours. Please
Same
same
hours, yes.
okay. Parking off street spaces you have, how many?
To
Say two,
Two.
yeah.
Okay. Any exterior lighting will be designed to ensure safe movement and security by the use of motion detectors, yes or no? Would you have motion detectors? You can,
Yeah, I mean, we may add a motion detecting light up. there.
okay, they're about the
Probably
same
makes sense.
price. If lighting motion detectors are fitted, they illuminate their minimum adverse impact on neighbors and properties, including glare and reflection. So you gotta be downward facing. All lighting will be downward facing, says in the next paragraph. With a minimal illumination sufficient for adequate safety and security. Okay, so. I think there's a place for number of lights, but we can do it at the end. Signs. Signs must comply with town ordinances. Particularly size, distance from road corner requirements, signs may be used to advertise to ensure safe movement and security. Sign, can I have a sign on it?
We'll probably have a sign above the door.
Okay,
We won't make it large and obnoxious.
usually the largest sign that we usually use is the town sign out here.
Yeah, it won't be that.
I don't think that. Okay, noise now. Noise will not exceed 65 decibels at the nearest property line.
Mhm.
No music. Too much. Yes, on that, I guess. Dust. Any operation not create emissions, dust, dirt beyond the property line. This will also apply during the construction phase of the project. This is NA. It's all built.
So,
Okay. This may require resurfacing, access road, use of water, or tenting to mitigate the dust and to halt operation if wind, direction, speed is not favorable for the operation. So that's gonna be NA2.
Correct.
Odor control, it's no odor, right?
No,
Okay. Vibration, you're not gonna crush any stone down there. All the same application, that's why I'm reading it here. So that's gonna be NA. There's no nuisances that we see here.
I don't think so.
So I'm gonna put NA on that. Right, track vehicle pedestrian access condition requirement operation will be limited to conditions approved by these performance standards with regard to hours and days of operation. We already agreed on that, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Circulation, if required, access to the public will be restricted or controlled and secured. So what that means is, if you have a road and you don't want people on your property at night or any problems, you put a fence out, a gate or anything like that. But you don't need any of that stuff right now.
I don't think so.
So you gotta be secured with a padlock, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put that down, locked. And you're gonna have some lighting. Is adequate capacity on other roads? I'd say yes for this. You gonna add any driveways?
No.
No. Professional safe operation, some proposed use. All approvals. Okay. How many lights would you want to have? If you had any
Inside or external?
external lights,
One.
one light,
I think in the other approval that's necessary is this Department of Agricultural license, right?
Yes. Yeah, I have to follow up with that. I figured it made sense to check with this group first. And
Ask them how many food stands run by children have these licenses. They're gonna be the most
The health inspector.
Safest one in Maine.
Yeah. Health inspector actually said, that, a hot dog stand was an option for doing like coffee, because it has the stainless steel sinks and everything else you need to meet the health inspector.
Oh, interesting.
So he said, well, I mean, you could get a hot dog stand if you want to do coffee and hot dogs. But but this was,
That's
but
funny.
he actually recommended, he says, we sell pops, with an ag license, and that's an easy way to go.
Well, I'm gonna say, we all require license for private operation. Right, it's just a Department of Agriculture license.
Yeah.
So, right.
Yep.
Fire department access, South Thompson Fire Department allowed to come there,
Yes.
okay? And the chief, if he needs to, can come down and verify
Sure.
your property. If he makes any recommendations, you'll have to, do what what he requests,
Just sprinkler system in there.
okay?
I'll get a fire extinguisher in there.
You're not gonna dig up any more than 2 acres and
No.
erosion control, so that's good. Maintenance inspection of sewer facilities, that's NA2, there's none of that. Applicants agents will comply with federal and state requirements.
Mhm,
You only put that agricultural license in there too. That line,
sure.
okay,
I'm sure there's requirements that come with that. But they're probably not, hope they're not too onerous.
well, it says all state federal. so
Yeah,
it's-
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. It's time for the vote.
All right, let me
Okay.
think about it.
Any other questions before we have any motion?
I don't think so.
Somebody like to make a motion?
Motion to approve the application.
We have a second?
Second,
Any further discussion?
none.
Hearing none? Okay, we'll have a vote.
Yes.
Yeah,
Aye.
in favor? So it's 4 in favor. And
None
0
opposed.
opposed and no abstentions.
Congratulations.
I can read you one more paragraph, sir.
One more
Okay.
paragraph here, yeah.
The South Portland Land Use Ordinance, section 4, paragraph B5, permits shall not be denied if the proposed use is found to be in conformance with the provisions of this ordinance. And I think that's it. Okay, so I'll take that from, good luck with your project.
Thank you so much.
No,
I
sir.
appreciate your time.
You're welcome. How old are you now?
You okay? She's fading out.
Right now, long day.
What are you, 3? 5? 10? She's 7. She just turned 7.
Good for you.
So, thank you all. I guess we're all set.
That's
You're all
it.
set,
Thanks
yeah.
so much.
I'll get this typed up for you here.
Yeah. Thank you all. Really appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good luck.
Your patience.
Okay, then we have Tina Hendricks next, renewal application, Saltwater Fields parking lot. What would you like to tell us about that?
We are hoping to add stone to increase the size closer to our original goal,
Right,
which we did not achieve. We, built originally,
okay.
so,
You had, what was the original size? Quickly,
I think that was it's only permit. I think
It was
150 by 130. So, how-
Originally wanted 150 by 130, but
okay,
closer to 150 by.
what was actually approved again?
It was one, I believe it was we approved
I have
the
it
full
somewhere.
size, but we should check.
It was approved, our original request was approved, we just never made it that big.
Okay, I got the tents. Okay. All right. I think. Just wanted, I believe you. I just wanted to- Yeah, parking there 150 by 130. So what do we want to do now up to 65 cars? What Well, you already have,
Right now, it's about 150 by 100, and so we want to add that 30 feet
okay,
along,
and we're doing this because the applicant
because
application
we.
expired?
Yeah, it expired, exactly.
Oh,
We're
right.
asking for the same thing that they were asking for originally, but the permit had expired. So they're just asking for the same thing again.
Okay,
It also needs to be amended because it's not grass, and that's what was permitted.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's like now, it's now a gravel parking lot and not a grass parking lot.
Are you going to put asphalt on it?
No plans for that.
Okay,
I mean, I can't say we never would, but we certainly don't have the funds for that right now.
so right now the grass is not suitable for automobiles, I guess.
Well, we were told by a couple professional groundwork people that it would fail.
Okay,
And we'd have to replace it every summer or every year.
okay, instead of, do we really need to do a whole nother performance standard for that, or we just want to amend the one that they have?
I think we just need to, we don't need to run through the whole performance standards necessarily. We just need to,
you see, what's written on the permit actually reads great, because that's the whole point, all
Does
the
anybody have
tables-
any problem with it?
You-
Renewing this?
Well, hold on, I would like to ask a questions, so who is doing it? Because it reads, about all the right things concerning, controlling runoff and drainage and stuff like that. So who is going to do it?
So I did put that information, it's on the first page. of
Yeah.
it. His name is Stephen Vanna, he does Vanna Construction, he does earthwork. And he is the one who will be in charge of all of that.
Because you're in the flat section, if I remember correctly, rather, on the water side. And then the plot next to you, who owns it?
Who owns the
it's,
plot next
it's
to
for
me?
sale, right?
Because I'm concerned, it's about the runoff, and so obviously we don't want the runoff to go to the river. But the runoff may end up pooling, and you don't want it to kind of flood somewhere else, so you may want to think of a, retention pool close to the, an area somewhere where the water could sit and not, flood everything else.
I would love to do that because then we have ice skating in the winter.
That would be great.
I would love to do that. Do I need a permit for something like that?
Well, the
Not
people.
Charge.
everybody.
If you charge,
No, it's like, it all depends on our, I don't know again the topology, exact topology of the plot, but, I
I don't think you
remember.
can make a pond, though.
I remember there was
You would have to go to
discussion
DEP.
early on about a private home.
Because, no, a fire point is something else, it doesn't.
I think, so above a certain amount of area, and it would be actually, I don't think you are there yet, but above a, one, for example, it's 1 acre of impervious surface, including all buildings. Then you need a DEP stormwater
Yeah.
management permit. And at that point, you need a civil engineer and you need drainage, you need retention pond. There's no such oversight on smaller areas than that. Which doesn't mean that that type of infrastructure is a bad idea. It just means that no one's gonna make you do it.
But yeah, I
Except,
remember
except this board possibly could do that.
looking, if it's rainy season, it will show, some water running and, again, it's like, where
this
is
is
the
on
water going? That's
the
it.
lot is on the side of, I guess, one
It's not on the
thirty-one,
ocean side.
right?
It's
No.
between.
It's a.
For one area there, you made a, I guess a ditch or along that side of the road there. Between you and the Hilchi land, right?
Yes.
So that's,
Yes,
that's,
the
no water,
original.
that water's controlled there. Are you
Yes.
worried about the other side?
No,
I think you just worry about the water from the parking lot.
yeah, the
Not
water
from
from
the
the
road.
parking lot.
Well, the parking lot would be attached to the road, right?
Yeah, but
It
you know,
is, and
if it's not tarred, it should actually hopefully drain, but at some point it clogs if you put too much stones and gravels and stuff, so,
Gravel is impervious.
yeah.
There is no issue with water now, but I did put that in the permit because. The way the parking lot is, obviously, it's raised. So when the water's coming down from the hill above us. It already has sort of its path where it already goes.
Okay, so it goes, you have the hill with the house at the top, and then it goes down, and you see your parking lot is at its base.
Yeah.
So the water is going to
So yes, there's an area where a lot of it goes, which is up closer to the new cabin that we're building.
Yeah,
It comes down and sort of goes into that area and then already goes towards the other property, and that was already like that before we started doing anything.
yeah, but you don't want to aggravate it. You don't want to make it too much worse so that. it
I
floods
agree,
and-
I agree. So below that area where the parking lot is, I just want to continue to encourage the water to not go on the parking lot because if it's too low, then it washes up the parking lot. But if we're able.
It would be something that would be routed around the parking lot, right?
Exactly,
property.
right. It would just be, and then the parking lot doesn't extend past our property.
Yeah.
Property line, so where it goes now is, it sort of goes around the parking lot and then between the parking lot and the barn, there's a lull.
Yeah,
And so that's where we had to build
Yeah,
a
the
bridge
bridge,
over
mhm.
it. So that's where it goes. I don't know, not out in the field when it's really wet, but it feels like that's where it goes. And it would just, sort of,
but it wouldn't take too much of an incline, in the stone layout, just a few degrees to get the water sent the other direction. And that would be better because you would have less water to put in your barn.
Unless it's an existing sort of wet area.
Do you mind coming up here for one second? I can ask a question. Okay, I got your map here, your layout. So you have your road that comes down here.
Mhm.
This side is ditched here, and then you have your parking area that you'd like to put in.
Mhm.
And what, so you're coming around, but I think you're concerned with, where's this water gonna go here?
Yes, you see, to me, it would be better to have the water around here, which I think it is already,
A
when
little
it-
bit.
it goes this way to the other property, I think I have seen on the map, instead of having it pull that way, in between the parking and the building. Especially if you have tents over here, you don't want mud and stuff. So,
So this is pretty
What
high.
are you
Pretty
saying?
high. This does not get too wet. It gets wet up closer to here.
Well, if they're building a parking lot, you need to get,
Which side are you adding the 30 feet
Right
to?
here.
Okay,
so with that on this side.
On
So
this
what
side.
we need
So
to do
this
is-
side,
Well, I guess we should
Huh?
like to make the water go that way.
yeah, I mean, if it's already built anyway, what's going to happen? It's just gonna go the continuation.
I
of the
don't-
plane you
yeah.
have. It's not like you're building on this length, you're building you're building this way, not that way.
right, we're building, it would be adding dirt here. And to be honest with you, there's some area where we may not even have to put stone
Yeah.
because it's already high enough and hard enough
Okay,
that we may only have to put stone, maybe half of that,
might be nice to have,
because it gets a little muddy right there
Yeah.
when it's recently rained.
so, whatever,
Uh,
but, if she was permitted originally, I mean, there is no problem.
how wide is your road?
The road is pretty wide. It's. I wish I could remember 19 feet wide, no, or more. Two.
It's
Emergency
18
vehicle.
18 or 19 feet is required for
Yeah,
like a subdivision of drive surface, but I don't know, I don't have a problem doing this parking lot,
Yeah, it's fine, yeah, that's what we had said originally too, so.
okay?
But, okay,
So in the road, is that 1,485 feet accurate for that? How long is the road?
I believe it's 1485 to the
Or
barn.
no, sorry, 1,235 it says.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's important.
That must be the line, this
yeah,
line.
the line,
I keep
Um,
using the same map for everything. I created it once and now I
So
just.
that, all right, what she's trying to do here.
And then how big is what are the dimensions of the footprint of your building?
The dimensions of the building are 85 by 54.
Okay.
And then, so 85, sorry, I'm calculating your impervious area here quickly, because I think you're actually closer to that 1 acre than I thought you were. Sorry, so that's about 4,500 square feet.
give the 2 tents.
And then how big is the deck on the building? Roughly,
All right, so we go to all these. The one that's fire marshal, the one that, the one, not the tenant one, correct, or you just want the one that the fire marshal.
Right, 24 by 8 deck, does that sound right?
Say that again?
Says on here, this one, 24 by 8. The deck, this is different.
Or
size.
is that new?
Oh, that, maybe that's the house that's
That's
somewhere.
what you just put on.
Oh, that's the deck they just put on, okay.
Okay, so we did the tent deck, And then
The tent deck's right next to the building?
yes, but and then, but originally we put a deck that the fire marshal had us put for the egress of the upstairs bedroom.
And you built the tent platforms around that?
Yes. Yeah,
And your,
So-
because in your picture, it shows the two,
Squares.
like two here, but
yeah, so
your new area is right up to this, right attached to the.
yeah, so we've sort of made this, we put a little fence around this, you know.
20 by 20.
That's one big deck.
There is a deck that I did never heard.
Beside that.
My question about adding this on, you get your off-street parking
But,
and
And
the
then there's a
spaces,
shed that we.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah.
this format
What
is
I guess what
good
I'm saying is,
what we're trying to do here.
you have a permit for two
I think-
tents.
Honestly, she's
Okay.
over 1 acre of impervious. She needs a DEP permit.
Yeah, and I think that there's the old.
I think it's a little bit like
40 acres, what?
That was.
An acre
20 by 20.
An acre's 43,000 square feet.
Like,
I got it 49,000
platforms, and that's not what I see
Oh,
was built.
driveway, parking lot and building.
Okay,
I think I'll double check that.
And this.
Yeah, this driveway here.
Yeah.
Like, when-
That's right. Which that's fully out of scale because that.
Right, but,
Yeah.
but that, what you built
Ah.
isn't what you were committed for.
So we can separate them.
Well, I just, this is up to them, whatever they decide.
Right.
I was called and said, someone said,
Yeah.
they built a brand new big deck. And I went down, it looks like a big deck, it doesn't look like two tent platforms.
They were supposed to be separate, weren't they?
How long is the deck? You know, is it more than 40?
I wish I could remember the measurements of everything,
Because
my brain is just-
if
What
it's
about
40 by
else?
20, it's like
Deck
one long
out.
deck, it's like the platforms are together. So that would be the same area. But if it's like 60 feet long, then yes, that's definitely more than what was permitted.
No, no, there's enough for the tent and to walk between the tents and the shed.
So you would have to measure the lengths and, you know, as long as it's 40 or less, you're fine. You know.
Okay,
So you can build up to a 10,000 square foot building here. So
Yeah,
Tom,
the
so
building is
two.
fine. I think, based on my quick math, you are actually over 1 acre of impervious area, which means that I don't think this board should approve an expansion of that impervious area without a DEP permit. I think that's gonna be required.
We have to find out what counts in that though. Does,
Everything, gravel, building, deck, impervious surface. It's total. I know because I've had to do this in a million projects. So I think, honestly, I think that's where it is.
so we should table
My
this until we
perspective.
find out.
Yeah, we can find that out for sure.
And I think we need to know the exact size.
Yeah,
of
so
what was built.
from you, we would need to know the exact size of all the buildings and the decks, any concrete slabs,
okay.
anything that water can't flow through.
Put the patio, the patio count,
What's it made out of?
look like rocks.
Yeah, patios and Yeah.
Patio, yes.
so
That too?
that too.
But I don't think that's in your calculations.
Along with the width of the
Because it's not
road, the actual width of the road.
Width of the road.
Where the gravel is there.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we just need to, we need to make sure of that. So I think that's, it's a sensitive area. It's right next to the water, like. Project might already be in violation and that would be, our mistake for not checking it or somebody's mistake for not hiring a civil engineer. But if it is in violation, then we have to just deal with it somehow. And it certainly can't make it bigger without the right permit. So I think that's what I would check. And that's, that's a state law.
I'll do we'll walk that parking lot again and get a fresh measurement.
Yeah, just the actual as-built size of it, if it's
Okay.
depending on how big it currently is.
Because I'm going by what the gentleman who did it said, well, I didn't go all the way, I was like 30 feet short. And we're just gonna leave it like that for now. So
Yeah.
I never did really measure to see. if
Yeah,
we did
it'd
that
be worth-
exactly.
Yeah, you'd consider getting it measured. You could also just hire a surveyor to do an actual survey of what's there. Because if you do need a stormwater permit, you'll need that anyway.
Okay, so that's what it's called, that we're worried about a stormwater.
Yeah, DEP stormwater permit. And that's just purely based on like the aggregated area of all that stuff that's on your on your lot that water can't pass through.
Okay,
I'd like to make a motion to table this till the next meeting
I seconded.
Yeah, fine with me. No discussion.
for
okay,
discussion on that. Okay, so we'll do that, and then we can see if we can find out a little more information for it,
sure,
and then we'll go from there.
okay, I can do that.
See what they say counts and what doesn't count, because I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, apologies for bringing that on you, but I think it's our job to be really careful about what happens that close to the water. And, with the issue of,
You're back 250 feet
yeah,
already,
yeah,
so
but it's it's not a shoreland issue.
no. it's not
Everywhere in the state.
everywhere.
Possible that even though it's stone, like crushed rock, it's considered.
Crushed rock is
impervious,
considered impervious surface.
Okay.
Yeah, gravel roads, gravel parking lots
And we're only allowed to have an acre of impervious surface
without a permit.
without a deed.
Yeah, so you're allowed to have more, but once you have more, you have to apply for a DEP permit.
Okay,
And it's between 1 acre and 3 acres is what's called a stormwater permit. Above 3 acres, it's a site law permit, and you really don't want to get into that. I don't think you're at risk.
okay,
A stormwater permit is much easier to get. It's not as onerous a process as a
okay.
site law. permit.
And you need to have the system designed by a professional.
Um,
Okay,
and the cabin is on a separate lot.
Correct.
Got it.
okay,
That'll help. And then there's a letter from Jane Carker, right? That we should discuss as well.
correspondence, next.
Yep, this is relevant to Tina's project.
Who's
And
this
I-
from? Jane
Jane
Carter?
Carker, yeah. And this was, it was in April, we got this.
Okay, what, have you read this?
No?
Okay, I can read it, or you can read it yourself, but
You just give her a copy, yeah. And I guess I would say, just on the procedural sense, I think, Terry, that this is probably in your court. If it's an enforcement question, but it's in our court if we ultimately want to make it a condition of any revised permit. So anything that happened in the past, let's see, is in your court, anything that might happen in the future is in our court.
So is that in the performance standards, what they were gonna do?
it's not. I don't think that it is. I mean. I'm trying to figure out where Jane's Carker's coming from here. Based on promise to cover the gravel road with a special surface. To reduce noise and dust. Is that during the construction phase? Is it during all the time. I mean,
I-
last summer was very dry summer, and my road was very dusty, and a lot of roads get dusty.
Didn't we talk about planting some vegetation in, on their
I think that's
side?
been done too,
You did do that?
Yeah,
yeah.
and I keep doing that because not everything has survived. It's a harsh area
Yeah.
down there.
It does say operations shall not create an emission of dust or dirt beyond the property line. I don't know how you. Stop that.
Possible.
I think it's just a matter of, like, I don't know, there's all those treatments on the road, like, they're not, there's other reasons that those aren't great. But,
I mean, I
there's
think
like
it's
a
a,
whole, there's like a whole science and industry related to reducing dust from gravel roads.
Yeah, sodium, yes,
Yeah.
well, and we've done that, it holds water. After it rains, but you have to continue to do it, and last year we did it multiple times, it was so dry.
Yeah, well, last
Never
year it was
rains,
crazy
so-
dry. Yeah.
No, it couldn't hold any moisture.
Yeah.
I feel like she might be thinking that because we said we wanted to cover the parking lot with grass. That maybe she thinks that we meant we were going to cover the entire road with something, but we never intended on pavement.
I think, I mean, we don't. The only thing that we have. In our permit is a requirement that the dust is contained within the property line. Is that correct?
This may require resurfacing of the excess road, use of water and or tenting to mitigate the dust and halt of operations if the wind direction or speed is not favorable for operation. Well, that seems like very vague to me.
well, that's, I think they're referring to construction.
That sounds like it's referring to construction to me, but I think that the performance standards does say that the dust requirement is for operations and construction. I think it's because of the
It
gravel.
is listed under operations from the deed.
So I think what I would say is. Keep an eye on it.
Yeah, my only thought is, you need to have some bushes or brush that could, create, because the
Mhm.
dust just flies from the wheels of the cars. And if you have, I don't know what kind of hedge you could have, but that would.
There is already some overgrowth, just from years of overgrowth between the two properties.
Yeah.
So I would say the length of Mrs. Hilche's house has a full.
Well, it's paved,
around.
it's paved, how much pavement do you have in 131, and your entrance pavement is got a little length there, doesn't it?
Little bit of a length there, yeah, that was a requirement from the,
DOT,
yes, DOT.
Not enough, it
And
wouldn't stop any dust.
Dust,
It's not Really.
It's a pretty long road. I think,
I'll tell you what, I mean, it may sound simplistic, but drive slowly sign or something, you know what I mean,
yeah,
to mitigate the dust.
Terry, have you seen Walter Wright's driveway? They have something they put on their driveway. I don't know if it's what it's called, but
Like a reclaim or something like. that.
yeah, and it doesn't get dusty or potholes or anything. It's, I don't know what it's called. but
it
they
is a
put
nice,
on
it
it.
is a nice looking driveway.
I
Um,
need the recipe for that.
it could be, yeah, it could be worth looking into. I think.
is Mrs. Hilche complaining?
No,
We received this email from Jane and that's, that's all we know.
Okay,
I think
we see what you see.
our recommendation, my recommendation is just to, look, sometimes in the summer you can start to see dust on the leaves,
Mhm.
next to the
Would
road.
speed make a difference?
That's
Yeah.
what I was saying, make a slow sign or
Makes-
something.
Mile per hour.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
signs, and it's a UPS driver that.
Oh.
They're always in a hurry.
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
Yeah.
why?
I think. Yeah, so I think just make sure, I think just look and see if you see that there's any dust visible like at those, on those plants at the property line. Then
Okay,
like
okay.
keep an eye on it. If the dust is going past, then then you gotta think about doing something to keep it down. I think that's. If the dust is staying on your property, that's that's what you need to do.
Okay,
I think there's no, like, I don't think, we're not gonna require that you pave the road or anything, like,
No.
unless the dust problem persists for, becomes completely unmanageable.
okay,
But it's just gotta be, a reasonable
I
solution.
watched a dust cloud once. I saw someone come down and I watched it and I watched when it settled. And of course, that's gonna vary based on the wind.
Yeah,
But it did settle in plenty of time that it wasn't even on the trees that are next to her house. But again, that could vary.
Maybe a drive slowly sign or something
Yeah,
too.
I think that's the only.
I
way
could
it's
add a
gonna
few
do
more
it.
of those.
I mean, hate
You
to-
have to add some bumps along your driveway to force people to slow down, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, some speed bumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's really,
It's
really
not a bad idea, actually.
dusty day and you know that it's windy out and there's people coming, can you just wet the road? Would that be enough?
I think you can.
Yeah, that's a good
Well, that's a.
idea too.
Good spray it.
Do we have
Like if you're going to
a
have
water
the-
truck or something? Maybe go get a water truck, give me a water truck.
The more we can stop these.
Yeah,
These complaints.
Oh, I know, they're a nuisance.
Kind of snowball to,
Maybe Mrs. Hill, she just should sell me her house. Not that I could afford it right now, but.
I think, yeah, talk to the guy who maintains your road as well, like whoever built it,
Where was this
whoever's building this
person's house?
driveway.
Yeah,
Located,
I don't know where Jane lives.
she's a few houses down from us.
oh,
And I think,
She
She's not-
had dust.
I don't know.
but she's,
I've tried
I
to
think
figure that out.
she's not in a butter.
She's complaining on behalf of Mrs. Hilchi, I think.
okay. Well,
well, let's do that.
Yeah, so I think. Just,
they
As long
call,
as
you
you
say
can-
the plan
as long as
board
you can
reviewed it
prove-
and, you know,
Yeah.
they. It's really, we can try to make some, mitigate it by some signs and stuff like that.
Yeah, this,
I will.
And like that, and that,
if you put a few speed bumps, people will understand.
Okay.
yeah,
At least you're showing that you're trying, you know.
Right.
you can't control that. Some people fly with speed bumps.
Yeah.
You know, okay,
So,
well, anyway,
Like it's pouring out now, maybe.
Oh, no.
stop, yeah.
Summer that it
Oh,
won't
you
get.
don't want to, you don't want wet wind.
I could definitely do that.
that
How many
the,
cars are you expecting, by the way, for the Knox Camp, for the Knox Museum Fair? Because I
I don't
remember,
remember what their guest count is.
because that's some, I think I had remembered that you had mentioned that you might do shuttles, you know, if your parking lot gets full. Did I read that?
Some people hire shuttle services.
Yeah, like especially because they have a parking area by the museum, so if there are too many cars, you know, you might, you know, I don't know, yeah.
I don't think we'll, I don't think they're like one of those ones who would consider us that capacity.
No.
I don't believe they're up near 200, but I could be wrong. I haven't actually spoken with them in a while.
Watch for them to be, yeah, you may want to inquire, I'm sure they have done that in the past. but they're not-
Oh, right, we sort of keep an ongoing, communication about, yes,
Yeah.
because that changes right up until the day of. And I just don't remember off the top of my head what their last figure was.
Yeah.
Is
Are
it-
you going to that?
I'm debating. I don't know.
I'm excited for that one.
Have you put your tents up yet?
One, I've gotten one.
How is it in this window?
So far, it's been okay. It has like 30 something items.
I've never been.
How do you tie it down? You just tie it down.
We need to adjourn.
Well, we put, yeah, I decided.
It would, we need to
to
adjourn.
put it in the
We
round.
have adjourned?
We need to
Yeah.
adjourn.
Got a couple more things here.
Oh, yeah.
I got that.
Oh, yeah.
And so.
Is there any further discussion with this?
No,
Okay, no,
Blast
Okay.
out, you know, what you can do at home, and
Okay.
I will mention that we forgot that they were supposed to be separated.
Do they need to? Do any amend their permit?
I think basically what we just, the next time we meet. We should just look at the actual drawing that shows everything that's actually been built.
Okay.
And if we're amending the permit for the parking lot already, we should just amend the permit to
And I'm
show
not
all that stuff.
difficult In any way, shape or form, but this place gets more complaints than anything, and I wanna be able to say, hey, look, we followed everything,
Yeah.
everything is. posted."
Yeah, no, we just have to be careful. So I think it would just starting with the measurements of everything
Sure.
and then see if we can get the stormwater permit figured out.
Okay, let's move on to the code enforcement report.
Yeah, what's the report?
Is there anything to report, really?
I just want to let you know that there is an issue on School Street. And the state is actually coming down on June 7th to examine it. The rules were not followed, the permit wasn't issued, he wasn't issued a floodplain permit, he's in the floodplain and he's within 25 feet. He picked it up, put it on a foundation that's not the correct foundation for the flood zone area, so it's really a mess, so that is.
How long has this been built?
They got the permit through Mo. And then slowly worked on it, and then they got another permit through Dan. And neither one of them did a floodplain permit. So we have gotten the site elevation, all that stuff. We're making progress on it. But I just want to let you guys know that there is a big.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tina.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Issue going on there, and we've done a couple of rep permits. Gartley Endorsky is great. They send you all this information and everything's laid out and simple and,
Did you get mine?
I don't remember.
It's over there. I haven't done it yet.
That'd have to be the
I know. That's good. It saved me the money.
I was gonna work on a report to actually give you, but these, as Hannah will tell you, these last 2 weeks have been crazy. So we've been doing a lot of decks, a lot of riprap, seems like people like Karen wanna tear down the cottages and.
Would you know off the top of your head, what has the property value increase been over the past year in South Thomaston?
I don't know.
You
I
don't
know
know?
houses are selling for crazy amounts.
The main thing, one of the big boosts is the 2 solar arrays. What's there? I don't know if they're gonna be in tax yet, but those should help quite a bit with the tax base if they get a fair.
Yeah.
Because those are kind of high dollar items.
To make up for the loss of tiny revenue from the town, the plots that may go into conservation there.
Well, actually, just because the house sells for more, it doesn't change its value in our book. Until we.
But if something is built,
If something is built,
Yeah, it adds to
We're having a few built, but mostly people are buying the places and renovating.
Thank you.
All right,
Schedule next meeting. June 15th is the 3rd week. Is that good for everyone or
that's a good.
check your
point.
day?
I think I can.
We can move it a little bit if you need to.
June 15th, I think is okay.
The 3rd, would be the 15th. So far, so good for me. So,
Me too.
Yeah,
All right.
fine.
So we'll schedule our next plan meeting for June 15th.
yep.
And if we have any business to take up, we'll meet.
Oh, you got Tina.
We got Tina. Well,
She might not get that stuff
Get it
together.
by that time. We're a little bit late this month. Thanks, everybody,
Yeah.
for adjusting to that too.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And motion to adjourn, I guess.
Second.
Third.
All in favor? My gavel again.